Allison LaForgia, managing editor of HousingWire's Content Studio, and live from Las Vegas, I'm with two very special people from Proctor Loan Protector. I'm with Mike Dimas, who is the Senior Vice President, and I'm with Bryan, Sommerland, the Regional Vice President. And it's been a minute since we've spoken, and last time we spoke, you hinted that Proctor had some big things on their horizon. Tell us a little bit more about where you were in 2020 and where you are 5 years later.
Yeah, I guess I'll jump off here, and thank you for having us. So our boss, Damon LaPre, did an interview much like this 5 years ago, and maybe this group will see this, but he alluded to something big coming. And that big thing was the acquisition of Loan Protector, which is where I came from. Bryan came from the Proctor side. And we knew there was things in the works. We just weren't ready to release it to the public yet. So as part of that hypothesis before that acquisition, we thought there was a big need in the market for a organization to compete on larger scale. So both Proctor and Loan Protector were great organizations, but combined really leapfrogged us into this space that we were not even prepared for, but it's been so exciting for the last 5 years.
Now, tell me a little bit about the technology advancements you guys have made. 5 years is a bit of time, so where are we at now?
Yeah, well, it's quite significant. So when we think about technology and investments into technology, we always think about people, process, and product, right? So you think about how we want to advance as an organization. Well, when you bring two organizations together, you get the best of the best. So one advantage we had was taking pieces and parts from both organizations, integrating them into kind of our overall solution to really support the market. As we all know today, things are moving very quickly, very fast. AI is the topic probably throughout many conversations that you're having. So we're spending a lot of time looking at how do we build things ourselves, how do we find partners and vendors to work with us and integrate into our technology stack. But I think there's a lot of things that we've implemented already in these 5 years that's seen significant value to our clients and our new business clients, but a lot more to come. It's a really exciting time on the technology front.
Now, you just touched on this a little bit, and I want to dig in a little bit more. So walk me through a little bit about how these changes actually impact clients and borrowers.
Yeah.
I'll take that one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, good question. As Mike mentioned, there's been a lot of investment at Proctor Loan Protector in our systems and our people, and we stay very close to the pulse of our client base. And what we hear out there from our clients and know firsthand is that borrowers being able to self-serve their own needs on escrow-related type functions like insurance is paramount. 70% of them, we'll talk about loss drafts a little bit too in this realm, very high touch part of the business, very emotional part of the business, but through technology now we've been able to really shorten the time frame from ordering an inspection, following up on the items that are needed with the borrower, and really being able to serve the borrower better has been paramount and is woven through everything we do at Proctor.
Yeah. One thing to add on top of what Bryan mentioned, if you picture a Venn diagram, when we're making corporate decisions about where we're going to spend money and time, if you have what's good for Proctor, what's good for our clients, so what are we delivering to them that makes them better, stronger, feel more comfortable hiring us as their partner, and then what's good for the homeowner, the borrower. And if we can put a dot right in the middle of that Venn diagram, that's where we always want to be with any decisions. So when we think about the technology, and Bryan's talking about lost drafts, it's an awful time for a homeowner. Something bad has just happened to them. So if we can invest in technology and make the decisions based off how we're making those decisions, that's where we find the real value. That's been really awesome for us.
So you just talked about the benefits to clients and borrowers and where you see that ideal dot on that Venn diagram. Yeah. Talk to me a little bit more about what this means for new business growth.
Yeah, you want?
Well, we're both excited to answer that question. Our sales have, in the last 5 years since we were last here, been exponentially higher. We are seeing tremendous growth organically amongst new client business, and a lot of that's attributable to the things that we're talking about here today. The investment we're making in technology, the ability for borrowers to better serve their needs and be a happier borrower for our clients is really ultimately what we're after here. So because of that, our culture and that whole taking care of the borrower is of paramount importance to us and, of course, to our clients. We're seeing some significant growth in new client opportunities that have onboarded with Proctor in the last several years.
I think one of the big things through the acquisition, some things we both heard prior to the acquisition, I should say, we each only had one servicing location. So with the acquisition, with our growth, we now have 4 servicing centers. So Daytona Beach, Florida, Cleveland, Ohio, Troy, Michigan, and an office in Dallas. We're approaching 1,600 teammates here in the United States.
Wow.
We are just having the most fun we could possibly have when it comes to new business. But with that, we also have to focus on retention of existing business. And I think I'm happy to report 99% year over year we've been able to retain our clients. So we're very proud of that stat more than anything. Growth is wonderful, but client retention means we're doing right. We're continuing to deliver for our current clients.
So you just talked to me about new client experience and what you've accomplished with technology, but you just mentioned retention. So walk me through a little bit about your impact on the borrower experience so we can really dig into that retention piece.
Yeah. You want to jump?
Yeah, well, I think one of the things that alluded to or talked about earlier was just in the area of loss drafts. You know, the ability for a borrower to be able to self-serve is of paramount importance. And so the investment that we made in technology is allowing us to better serve the client's borrower's needs. And borrowers do want to self-serve everything when it comes to escrow-related items. So the ability to deliver that is also creating a scenario where our clients are getting better grades, let's say, and viewpoint from the borrower to their organization. So we always have to realize we're an extension of our clients, and that's of paramount importance to us, and taking care of the borrower, as we mentioned before, is huge, and that is really delivering on that is what's helping, I think, our clients be viewed better by their borrowers at large.
So it sounds like you guys are delivering in both capacities for your clients and for the borrower. So you really have 2 different sets of focus in mind, which is outstanding. So I have to ask, it's been a minute since we've spoken. What's next for Proctor Loan Protector? Where are we going to be in 5 years?
Well, I think Damon, again, said it best. You know, if you don't know who we are yet, you're going to. I think most now know who we are. And our belief is if we keep doing what we're doing and making the investments, we just had a client summit. We had over 100 guests with us at this, and we delivered a lot of our corporate initiatives at that summit. And our intent with that is to remind them that we're supportive of them. And our job is to invest to improve their borrower experience, deliver their customer requirements from service levels through just relationships. So everything's paramount. So in 5 years from now, 2030, I guess we're talking, you know, we expect to have a much larger client base, a much larger footprint, larger market share. That's our ultimate goal.
And I just hope to be here.
Yeah, right.
Well, Mike, Bryan, congratulations on
Thank
5
you.
years of absolutely impressive growth. I cannot wait to see what Proctor Loan Protector does with the next 5.
We appreciate you having us. This was
Thank you.
great.
Appreciate it.
Thank you all for being
Thank
here
you.
today.